Hello, it's Rich here from 1-800 Water Damage. I am here at JBLM at a hotel that we're working on. We're going to check in and see the progress that's going on this job today. If you remember from the previous videos, this started with a fire on the second floor, so let's go check that out. This is the second floor. You can see we had to do a lot of demolition in the hallways. In many cases, we're able to eliminate demolition by using dry-in-place technology, drying the structure out intact. In this situation, we are not able to, as you can tell from all the walls that are cut out, demolition that's been done, just because they were double insulated walls and there was insulation all the way through. So in that case, we're not able to dry it. But everywhere you can see that's cut out was completely soaked at one time, or the insulation behind it was soaked. Here's one of the rooms on the second floor. You can see that we've had to remove just about all of the contents, cabinets, appliances. Some of that is still in the process of being removed. The drywall has been cut out, as you can see. Everything ends up being cleaned. The air conditioning unit, that'll be sent out specifically for separate detailed cleaning, so that when it's all reconnected, it's fresh air that's being blown throughout each of the units. When we're finished here with our work, then the reconstruction will start. They'll start replacing everything. You see with the wallpaper hanging on the walls, we've been able to save the majority of that. The hotel's wallpaper hanger will be able to reattach all of that to the new drywall that's installed and put it back together. This is the source room. Let's go take a peek inside. There was a problem with the refrigerator, a small explosion in there which turned into a fire, and that's what actually set off the sprinkler heads in this case. It's amazing how much two sprinkler heads going off can cause this amount of damage, but there's a lot of water coming out of those very quickly. Okay, now we are inside one of the source rooms where the fire occurred. You can see that we have gutted just about everything down to the metal studs. Of course, cleanup needs to happen later today. But there's nothing able to be saved in the rooms that are damaged by the smoke itself. It penetrates everything, not to mention this is where the majority of the water started. So these rooms were completely saturated. Alright, let's go take a look at some other rooms. So again, this is on the second floor, and each of the rooms have a varying amount of damage to them. We'll check out some of the ones at the end of the hall here that have the least amount of damage. Okay, so this is one of the end rooms, and this was only minimally affected. So this is what the rooms do look like. Before demolition, or what they will look like again after reconstruction. In these cases, we've removed some of the furniture, beds, etc., but only a very minimal amount of furniture and contents from this room. This room should be able to be returned back to service in just a couple days. This room also, only a very minimal amount of work to be done in here. This is at the end of the hallway, so there were close to, actually there were about 42 rooms affected. But again, some of them only very minimally, like this one. Here's another room, again on the second floor, with a moderate amount of damage. This is about 2 rooms down from the ones that we just showed you that were not damaged entirely, not entirely, or very little. Still in each room, the air conditioning unit comes out and goes away for cleaning. so that the air that will be circulated for the occupants will be totally sanitary and fresh. You can see the first floor looks fairly similar to what's going on upstairs. Some of these rooms are less damaged, some of them are substantially damaged as the water came through the floors, through the ceiling rather, the floor from above, down the walls, into the ceilings in the rooms below. There's a spot that needs some more demo. And again, the only reason that we are doing demolition on this drywall is because it is double drywall with insulation behind it. So once that's wet, that insulation is going to hold on to all of the water in there. Unfortunately, we can't dry it. In most people's homes, we really try hard to use our advanced structural drying process and dry the customer's home out as quickly as possible with minimal invasion or demolition. Here's another room with a moderate amount of damage. You can see we're putting down protection. The air conditioner's been removed again. But this room doesn't look anything like some of the ones upstairs. Let's go see what we find down the hall. Here's a room on the lower level that was almost unaffected. It's really strange how the water travels. It really goes wherever it wants to go. This isn't very far from the source rooms, and yet this room was fairly untouched. We've got a dehumidifier running in here, but this room is almost ready to be returned to service. All right, well, that's your tour for today. I'll come back when we've got a little bit more progress done, and I'll certainly come back again once some of the reconstruction has begun, so you get to see the rooms going back together. Thank you for checking us out. Remember 1-800-WATER-DAMAGE. If you have any trouble at your home or business, we're here to help.